Hello. Hey, can you guys hear me? We are live. All right, let me share this a little bit. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Actually, we were supposed to have the stream last night, but we got carried away. No, there's no bad news. Hey, what's up? How's it going? Let me just share the stream to our Facebook group. So how are you guys doing tonight? How's it's a Monday night, start of a new week. How did it start? On a good note, not so good note. What do you guys think? How's well, I guess last week was oh man, last week was interesting. So this week, yeah. How's it for you guys? Tell me. Just type in the chat. How's the week? Uh, yeah. It's about to be 4th of July. I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Maybe a good thing. Yep. So it's the last. I keep saying this. I keep saying the last week or the last couple of weeks have been very interesting because it seems every week is so interesting. Every week there's so much going on. There's so much happening. We have so many meetings, and just when we think, well, okay, we got done with this week. So many meetings and so many things happening. Then the following week comes and is just even more of that stuff. It's just it's an interesting, crazy time, isn't it? We normally have meetings not only with our staff. We have meetings with we do a lot of Skyping and a lot of Zoom calls with not just the staff, our guests, our vendors, artists, just everyone, and also very important, the venue, security, all the officials, health officials from the city itself, the mayor's office. There's the hotels. There is there's a lot going on, and things are changing so fast every day that we need to constantly communicate. So there's you can't even sleep or take a day off. You see what I mean? If you take a day off, it's like one day and the entire world has gone past you. So I haven't taken a day off since God knows when. I mean I should. It's pretty much, I think it's going to be good for my health, but I enjoy what I do, and I think it's important to stay up to date because how else are you going to get anything done? Just last week, the COVID numbers in Texas spiked up, and everyone was, oh my God, now what? And what are we going to do? And when I say everyone, I mean everyone. The question is, what do we do about it? What's the solution? What do we need to do to get everything back down? And there was a bunch of people from different parts of different entities saying different things, coming up with different solutions. The question is, what works and what doesn't work? There's a lot of wear a face mask, which is true, and you should wear a face mask. There's a lot of social distance, and yes, you should. But it's been said so much that I feel there's a lot of the people these days. When you hear the same message over and over and over and over again, it just goes over your head. So it's like, oh, it's the same old thing. So I think people these days, or some people, are not so respectful of the message just because they've heard it 100 times or 1,000 times. So maybe we should all come up with new ways of sending the message. I think. Also, I oh, just looking at the chat. All right. Okay. So before I go any further, yeah. Behind me, yeah, that's Final Fantasy 7 remake. I have one chapter left, chapter 18 on hard, and I'm done. I'm playing the game on hard, and it's hard. And over here, this is Mega Man X3, which is this. Yeah, and that's running on the Super Nintendo. I love this game. I actually love the Mega Man series, some of my favorite series, and I collected all the Mega Man games. There's a ton of them. Let's see. Yep. So, yes. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So the goal is for things to get better. We want things to get better, and I'm sure you can understand. We want things to get better too. We are ready to help and do whatever we need to do to make things better. We understand, and we've talked to tons of people on both sides of the aisle and both sides of the coin, and we've listened, and we want to make things better. We also understand the current situation. We've had so many meetings and talked to so many people that we get it. So when we get hit with things like, hey, why don't you cancel the convention? Hosting the convention is irresponsible. Just cancel it, because if you host the convention, you're just spreading the virus. That might hold some truth. And if we get to the point where the medical experts from the city say, hey, it's best to cancel the convention, I mean, we listen to their advice, then so be it. We're ready either way, and we want to do the right thing. We want everybody to be safe, and we want everybody to be as happy as we can. We want to deliver some as much happiness as we can. The convention is still some time away, probably over a month and a half away. So a lot can happen in a month and a half, and we understand that. The city understands that. The venue understands that. So we'll see what happens. I mean, we are ready to move forward with the event. I mean, and we hope we can in a safe way, because we have so much stuff. There's so much that we have. There's so much that's on its way here for you guys to see. I mean, if we can't host the convention this year, it'll be a pity, but it'll also be for the best. So whatever we're gonna do, we're just gonna do it. We're gonna come up with the best decision that's the best for everyone. We're not just gonna do something because everyone else is doing it, or just because we have other reasons. No, we're gonna come up with the best decision, and we'll keep you guys up to date for everything, which is what we've been doing. We've been trying to do this for since March. We've been doing this live streams regularly, and we tell you guys what's going on. We are transparent. We keep you guys up to date. Sometimes we have good news, sometimes we don't have very good news, but either way, we feel This is, we're all in this. It isn't just our thing. You guys are involved, obviously, so we can all come up with decisions together. And I understand there's a lot of people, so it's not easy. Just taking everyone's opinion and advice, but we do our best. We're doing our best, and we are optimistic. So here's something to consider. Um, it, there's a lot of people now in Houston. So when you're wondering why are the numbers spiking, right? There's people here that are going out regardless. Now these people are going to go out regardless. I actually don't think there's anything. I mean, I could be wrong, but I cannot imagine anyone could do anything to keep them at home. I mean, even if the governor shuts down Texas, well, when you say shut down Texas, you're talking about shut down the businesses because you can't force people to stay at home, right? So even if all the businesses were closed, people are still going to go out. And the reason for this, and this is statistics, and this is coming from from the city. And I'm sure you guys can understand this. The fear of COVID now is less, actually quite a bit less than it was 3 months ago. Now, this is not to say that people don't fear it or they don't think it's there. It's just they fear it less, right? Which explains people's behavior these days. So I can understand that, and it looks obvious, right? And the people that I guess people was about what 3 months ago, or back in March, a lot of people stayed home. A lot, even here in Houston. I just remember driving here to HQ. I would come here daily, just by myself, and the roads were literally empty. There was no traffic. There was no cars. It was kind of surreal, and that lasted for quite a bit. Driving down Westheimer, I mean, there was all the businesses were closed. There was like nobody there. Um, but now it's a different situation. It's just a different scenario, and I think that I mean, again, this is according to statistics. There's a bunch of people that will just go out, right? So the question becomes now, what can we do if they're going to go out anyway? And the other problem is there is nothing for people to do when they go out, or there are few options. So on a normal day, on a normal summer weekend, you would have so many options. You go to the movies. I mean, all the blockbusters, all the Marvel movies, and everything would be, I mean, they're on the schedule. So you have all the movies going on in the theaters, and those theaters are packed, and we have a ton of theaters. You have baseball games, you have basketball games, you have soccer games, you have concerts, you have theater, there's events, there's all kinds of things going on. So just imagine all those things right now, I mean, are non-existent. So all those people, just imagine how many people go to the movies, concerts, games, and just imagine. And now all these people don't have where to go. But some of them still want to go out. So then they go out and they have nowhere to go, so they all go to the same places, right? Like they go to the park, they go to the beach, and those places are overcrowded. And there is no one there, or there is nothing there to, I guess, mandate safety measures. So, there you go. In Europe, I know there's a bunch of cities and a bunch of Zurich and I mean there's some other places in Europe, some cities that understand this problem. So what they've been doing is they've been like in the park, they have like every weekend there's stuff going on in the park, and what they have like some kind of like theater going on, and they have movies showing on a screen in the park. And what they did was they laid down a bunch of circles on the floor, like 6-foot circles. So if you go there, you have to stay in one of those circles, which will, I guess, give you 6 feet between you and the next person. So the rule is you got to stay in one of those circles, and it's kind of like spread everybody out. but at least it gives people something to do. Here, I mean, there's hardly any activities. Not even in the park or anywhere, right? Um, so that's this is a thing, and now everyone, and when I say everyone, I mean the city and the state. They're trying to figure out how to fix this problem. I mean, what do you do? So here's and I mean, there's many people putting different options on the table and different solutions, and regardless of what you think, I think most people, at least most people that I have met, want to come up with. They want to be part of the solution. They do, and it makes me feel optimistic. I understand the situation. The problem is not very simple. It's a complex problem, but there is people. I mean, lots of people that want to make things better. We want to make things better. If Anime Matsuri will make things better, then and we can host it safely, then let's do it. Has been our thought for a while. This is the only way we could we could keep a clear conscience moving forward, because we understand this. This is not a game, and from the get-go, and just to be clear, from the get-go, we were ready to postpone the event to next year, like not host the event this year if needed. We have no binding contracts that are making us host this event. So if we decide to move the event to 2021, almost all our partners and the venue and I mean, they'll support us, right? Another thing that people say, or people might say sometimes, it's, well, or all other conventions have canceled. Why don't you cancel the convention? Well, we just care about money or profits, and that's not true. And I keep saying this. I don't think any event organizer in 2020, and I just don't mean now. I mean the entire 2020 till the end of 2020, till December, or till at least the time when things get drastically better. I don't think anybody even wants to be an event organizer. And if you are an event organizer, I think the last thing you're thinking about is, well, I'm gonna profit. I can't even imagine how you would under these circumstances. We were This conversation started with the venue and with the city. It started more like, we think, as in just everybody involved, we think that Anime Matsuri will do some good, because people have been stuck at home. People need escapism. People need something to do. There aren't a lot of things to do, and with all the technology and all the new health and safety measures that are being put into the GRB, probably we can host this event in a safe way, and we can do it. I mean, we have almost 2 million square feet to play with, and the venue said we can use all of it if we need to. If we need to spread people out, if we need to, just if we need to take social distancing guidelines, if there will be any at the time, we have the options to do that. The GRB has events going on. We're not the first event. They have a few events happening between now and our event, right? So and I don't think anybody, not the GRB, not the city, nobody wants to make the problem bigger. So all the events happening at the GRB, they're taking every one of them very, very seriously, because I mean, it's a big convention center, and they I can't even imagine how they would function otherwise. So yeah, that's you know yeah. I know we've had tons of ideas. People have been asking, what about a worst case scenario? Should we do a virtual convention or and the virtual? Okay, so just to be clear, even if we were having, so if we're having Anime Matsuri on schedule, we're still gonna do a bunch of streaming and a bunch of virtual stuff, just because we know that there's people that can't make it. There's people that just don't feel comfortable or are immunocompromised or for various reasons, or they can't fly or who knows, and they can't make it. All right, so the point was to do something to just we're planning right now quite a bunch of online stuff, so you could still somewhat see what's going on. Now, you know how we've been keeping you guys updated about what's been happening in the convention, right? What's being shipped here? We have stuff shipped. Good Smile Racing. I mean, the crates of merchandise is on its way here, right? The different booths, statues, all kinds of exciting things. The entire Wit Studios, the Ancient Magus Bride, Vinland Saga, the entire exhibition. It's already here. It's already here. Now, just so we're kind of on the same page, and you guys can have an idea of how we're thinking this, generally speaking. So without going into too much specifics, just so take whether it's Good Smile Racing or Wit Studios. Now the big booths are coming, the big displays, right? Regardless of what happens this year, these are also going to carry over to 2021, right? So if you can't make 2020 and you're worried about, I'm going to miss out on the Ancient Magus Bride or Vinland Saga, or I'm going to miss out on that exhibition, or I'm not going to see this and that, don't worry about it, because everything is here. So there is a very, very good chance that will appear again at AM 2021. And I'm sure I must have mentioned in the group or somewhere, the dates. AM 2021 will be on July 8th to the 11th. So it's the exact same time. It's the weekend after Anime Expo, which is the weekend after the 4th of July weekend next year. So we're taking as much of this into consideration as possible. Also, our guests. So our guests, almost every single guest, right, barring some change in schedule or something, wants to come back for AM 2021. So what do you guys so what do you guys think so far? We've been and when I say please believe me when I say we've been giving this so much thought and figuring out so many ways to do this, and the best way to do it, and we have some really, really good I can't even wait for you guys to see some of the things that we have planned, regardless of whether AM this year happens or not. We have a bunch of interesting things planned, and we think you guys are gonna love it. I'm hoping for the best. So I'm sure, like most of you, and I guess it's I can never thank you guys enough for supporting us, for being here, because we've had a lot of support from you guys, and it's been pretty amazing to say. You know, it gets us pumped, and we want to do more for our community. Um, yeah, yeah. That let me uh, let me reply to some of these comments here. Yeah, I honestly, okay. So to be honest, let me speak from the fan in me, right? So as a fan of conventions, as a fan of anime, as a fan of all these things, you know how I said I've been working a lot, and I have been no days off, because you know I just it's just no time to take take days off. I mean, I really want to go somewhere with my family, but there isn't. I don't have that many options. I mean, sometimes you just go for a walk in the park, but you know that's about it, which is okay. But I really want this convention to happen. I need this convention to happen. I need the escapism myself. And I'm not saying this. So this is the fan talking, right? But if I put my CEO hat on, that's different. You know, and just like I can relate to people that say they need the convention to happen. I can relate to that, and I understand. There's many vendors, there's many artists that have said, please, please, please make this event happen, please. So we're doing our best, but no matter what happens, we're not going to compromise health and safety. So whatever we do, that has to be on top. I mean, we have right now we have enough masks for every attendee in the convention. If we need to do that, we're ready to do that, right? At the GRB, they've installed thermal scanners everywhere. There's hand sanitizer stations everywhere. Every vendor, so every booth gets a hand sanitizer station. Every booth, at no extra cost. It's just there. So I guess you can clean your hands, pick up a DVD, look at it, and put it down, and then clean your hands again. That's the point. Whatever we need to do, right? We came up with all kinds of interesting ways to do the autograph sessions. And you know what's exciting? So so you can just imagine how much stuff we have on the table, even with COVID. How much stuff we have to do this year. Now just think of all the things that we planned to do this year that we had to push to next year because of COVID. So it's like everything that we've said, everything that you've seen, all the different booths, guests, this is not even half of what we were planning to do. The concert this year, and I'm talking about Club AM, I'm talking about the concert. This is a concert with a Japanese idol band, right? This concert would have been so big. I just wanted to be I wanted to be part of it. I was so excited. There's no way. I don't think it is even possible to have done that with given the current circumstances. So that was probably one of the first things we moved to next year. So we switched out the performers. Yeah, and same thing with K-pop on Thursday. For K-pop on Thursday, I mean we had some big things planned. But again, given the circumstances, we were like, well, some things we have to move over to next year. Some things we can keep this year, depending on how we can do it. But whatever it is that we do, health and safety first. According to what's going on, what's happening, the current situation. We listen to all the health experts, what they have to say, and we'll make decisions from there. I think. Yeah. uh, Leonidas says, "I need a chief. I hate my life." No, come on, man. I know. Things are rough. I know things are so rough these days. It's so crazy. And it isn't just the. I guess the bad part is it isn't just rough here or around us. If you turn the TV on, it's just bad news. And if you go on the internet, it's crazy stuff. If you go on Facebook, if you go on Twitter, oh my God. YouTube, wow. I mean, you can't escape. Wherever you go, there is stuff. And it's just it just comes at you. So yes, I hear you. And yeah, like I said, I needed to. Sometimes I just want to unplug. I mean, why do you think there's a Super Nintendo game here? Hey, this is the time you just put in a cartridge. You don't need to connect to anything. There's no internet. It's you and the game. uh, um, no, well, no, yes, the Godzilla store is coming back. Yep, Godzilla. Yeah, we love Godzilla. All right. Someone says, "What's your biggest goal for AM?" Well, are you referring to AM in general or AM 2020? Because those are those are two very different questions. Um, but I'm sure, I'm sure that for the AM attendees. And even if you haven't been to AM before and you've been following the live streams or you've been in our group or just following us on social media, uh, we one of the goals of AM has a bunch of goals, but one goal I just discussed one, right? One goal of AM is to bring content from Japan here to Houston uncompromised. So it isn't just to bring the content, it's to bring it uncompromised, the way it is in Japan. So we try to set up the experience as close as possible to what it would be in Japan. Now I know this sounds like a no-brainer, but this is easier said than done. First of all, I'm sure you guys can understand not everything translates the same way. Some things, I mean, are normal in Japan, and over here, people might think, oh, that's really weird, or that's too crazy. Let me give you an example. In 2018, and for those that went to AM 2018, we had the Evangelion exhibition. You guys remember that? Um, that exhibition was pretty amazing, in my point of view. When we were planning this exhibition, the last part of the exhibition before the store was this display of Lilith on the cross. Now, first, when this was planned, so when we had the layout and on the second floor, and we drew this out, Lilith was supposed to be hanging on the wall because that's how it is. Like in the anime, she's like that. Um, and we had drawn, we had sketches and we made a whole bunch of drawings and layout, for this to happen. Now, we had people complain that that was offensive. And I'm not kidding you. Um, it- when things like this happen, right, we have to take everything into consideration. So it isn't, I know some people might say, what, what's wrong with these people? I mean, they don't like it. Just, don't go there. Which is true. That's true. nobody was forced to go into this exhibition. This exhibition had a separate ticket which you had to pay, and then you had to go through it. Okay, but we take everything. I mean, it's our job. So regardless of how out of the ordinary it might sound, we it's our job to listen to everyone they have to say. And some people said, this is too offensive. Don't do it. Why would you do it? And it also happened that AM that year in 2018 was on Easter weekend. So I guess that amplified everything, and it was just bad to have Lilith on a cross, because this just wasn't appropriate. So we had to change the entire last part of that exhibition. We built an entire room in which we had to put Lilith inside horizontally, right? And in front of that door, we put a big sign that said, just enter at your own risk, warning. And we worded, there's images in here that some might find offensive, blah, 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 blah. And then we had to put another sign, just a similar sign, at the beginning of the exhibition. It was quite a bit of work. But, I mean, yeah, we had to do it. So, yeah, going back to it, bringing content from Japan on Compromise is not so easy. Last year, we tested out the Yaoi store. And we weren't even sure. Yaoi is a big thing in Japan. I mean, they have stores. I mean, it's a thing. It's a culture in Japan. But over here, yes, we had tons of fans and the entire store sold out really fast. But still, we had to make sure it was all enclosed, and we would warn people and warn them again before they go in there. And same thing with just different content, like anime. If we had the option to show an anime, and we had options, just show it the way it is in Japan, exactly the way it is in Japan, or show the American version, even if it had, whether it was a dub or even if it had subtitle. Most, like 9 out of 10 times, we would opt to go with the Japanese version, just because that's how it is over there, and that's how they understand. Now, granted, some people might not like that, and some people might think it's too much or whatnot, but it's one of the things that we try to do as much as possible with AM. And this goes for music. There's many times where we've had Japanese artists say, "Hey, can I sing this song? Is it appropriate? Is that okay? We don't know. Is your audience, are they going to get mad?" This happened. This happens almost every year. And we would say, just do the concert exactly how you want to do it, how you think it should be, whatever it is that you do in Japan, just do it. Right. Sometimes they do some special and they'll do like a fan service or whatnot. But the point is, it's coming from them. Right. And, however they want to do it. Yeah. I'm sure some of you know this already, and you can see it in what we do and how we do it. But if you didn't know, well, now you do. Right? Just reading. Yeah. Well, thank you. Now, for everyone, all your comments, all your nice comments, thank you very much. Thank you so much. We really, really, really do appreciate it. We hope we can have more discussions about different topics. This convention is as much yours as it is mine, and we would have no convention if it wasn't for all the attendees. But we're in Houston, and a lot of things here. Houston is should I say, there isn't a lot of Japanese pop culture activities that happen here. So most of the time when we bring stuff from Japan here, it's it's like the first time that's come to Houston. Sometimes to Texas, sometimes to the United States, uh, and it, we enjoy it. We everything that we do it because we enjoy it. We are passionate about what we do. Any anime, any characters, any show, any brand, we are excited and we're into it. We don't do stuff just for business because it just doesn't work that way. If you do something just for business, if you're not excited, like really excited to bring a company or a guest, then you know what? Like I don't know what to say. When you guys recommend guests to us, right? And when we approach a guest, it doesn't matter who it is. There's sometimes you guys recommend guests to us, which sometimes I'm not too familiar with them, right? I've never met them before. I'm not too familiar with their work. You know, if we're going to send them an email, if we're going to send them an invitation, if we're going to call them up and say, hey, come to Anime Matsuri, the first thing we do, before we do that, the first thing we do is get familiar with them. Look them up and look them up some more. See what, I mean, we want to make sure that we're inviting exciting people, really talented people. And besides that, we want to get excited as you are. If you're excited about a guest, then we should be excited too. Because I'm sure, I cannot say I know everything and I know everyone, right? Many things I learned from you guys. So we get excited, and when we get excited about a guest, we promote them. I mean, we really go out of our way. And it's exciting, and that's how I think, it should be. Yeah. And, they come to our convention, they have a good time, they want to come back. And also I think that the atmosphere, we have, the atmosphere is different. There's so much excitement, around, around the guests, around the people that, that come to the convention. We hope, we hope to do more of this, bring more content. And as you know, or as you can see, I'm sure you've seen this for the past few years, right? Besides guests, we bring content so you guys can experience stuff. Like the reason we brought Sailor Moon musical is because we wanted you to experience the Sailor Moon musical. See it for yourself. Say I was there and I saw it and I saw the and I saw the idols and I saw the actresses. It was it was awesome. I mean, you can go to the panel and you can ask them questions. I mean, where else would you have the opportunity to do that? I went to the Sailor Moon musical in Japan and I thought it was fantastic. And all I thought was, wow, I would love for our attendees to experience something like this. Same thing with the Evangelion exhibition. It was the exact same thing. I went to it. It was like, this is amazing. Wow. I would love for people to see this. So there's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of interesting things, and now we have more companies bringing more booths, like the bigger booths, and coming to the event, showcasing stuff, debuting stuff. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Like, you've seen our new mascot, right? It was made by Lena, the same artist that made the Good Smile Racing, Racing Miku. That's amazing. And just wait until you see the official Godzilla artwork made by Toho for Anime Matsuri this year. Just wait. I've seen it. I just cannot wait for you guys to see it. This is made by Toho in Japan. They made it. They made me send them a whole bunch of reference pictures from downtown and the GRB and the Hilton and the buildings and whatnot. And I mean, it's exciting. It's very exciting. And this is happening here in our city. There's many things to be excited about. Many things, I think. And I know this year is rough I know it's rough for a lot of people. I know people lost their jobs. I know people got sick. I know people are just, even the ones that didn't get sick with COVID are probably sick of something else. They're stressed out. They're mental health problems. And I feel for everybody. Um, I know it seems like this is a cycle and COVID will be here forever. And it seems like, oh man, it's not going to go away and it's destroying everything that we love and everything's being canceled. You know, just today I read that Cirque du Soleil is filing for bankruptcy. Oh my God. I really love Cirque du Soleil. But, uh, wow. Um, anyway, we should always look on the bright side. Let's look on the bright side. I think we can. I think it's. I think it's better this way. There's always. There's always a silver lining. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. So let's look on the bright side. Let's support each other. We have an Anime Matsuri Facebook group, the official group in there, and we, myself, Denise, the AM staff, we're always available. We try to make ourselves as available as possible. You have our social medias, and we're always around. We want to listen to you, and you are important, very important. I mean, all of you guys are so important because without you, we have no convention. Um, so if you need, if you need to talk to us, if you need to say something, you have ideas, you just, hey, we just don't hesitate. Don't be shy. Don't be a stranger. Just let us know. Talk to us. Thank you. And thank you for for everything. I think this week I'm hoping we can announce all the Godzilla stuff this week. Um, oh man, and we had some. Oh, we had some shows. We had a couple of shows that were supposed to debut at AM 2020, and we just can't wait for for you guys to hear what those are. And even if it doesn't happen at AM 2020, we'll see what happens at AM 2021. But stick with us. Let's do this together. We hope things will get better. Um, and yeah, we can always have discussions about anything. Earlier today in the group, I started a discussion about, how, I mean, I think it was last week. We had the Mike Henry, who was the voice of Cleveland Brown from Family Guy. He announced he was no longer going to voice the character because he's white. Cleveland is black, and he said he would rather somebody black, I guess, voice Cleveland. And I started talking about that in the group, and honestly, my my opinion on this, I got so many messages. My personal opinion, and again, this is my personal opinion. This has nothing to do with the convention. It's just me as a fan, and I love Family Guy. I love Cleveland. I think Cleveland is one of the funniest characters. He's just so funny, and I've always thought he was funny. Just everything about him. It's just the way he is, the way he looks. It's just he's made me laugh many times, and I just can't imagine any other voice coming from that character. But that's just me. It's just me. I mean, you don't have to share my opinion. And I understand, like these days, racial tension is high, and I understand why he did it. I get that he wants to promote the idea of more, I guess, diversity with talent, and I understand that. I completely understand that. I'm sure you understand that. I understand that too, because look at look at our event. Our entire staff is very diverse. Our guest list is diverse, and I just choose to surround myself with a diverse crowd of people. I've been like that, for as long as I can remember. You learn new things. People of different from different places and different cultures. But then again, I also love to travel. I travel a lot, so I go around and I respect different cultures. I love seeing the world. So I mean, I have people. The people around me have taught me a lot about different, their own cultures, and I love that. Nothing to do with business. I just something I just love personally, right? So of course, I mean, this year we invited Dart Stagio. I'm sure you guys saw that announcement. This is the first and only black-owned anime studio in Japan, which is just crazy if you think about it. It's like, wow. But they're really talented. This has nothing to do with the fact that he's black. It's just he's a really good artist, the CEO. And I think a lot could be learned from this guy. And I'm sure at the panel, you guys would have lots of questions for him. I'm sure there's tons of people that are like, oh man, you're living the dream. How did you open an anime studio? You, an American, right? Yes, you're black and you're an American. And how do you open an anime studio and actually got to do things in Japan? I'm sure you can answer those questions. So yeah, that's amazing. And then we have the voice actors from Mexico. This is the third year. Mario Castaneda. I mean, yeah, this is his third year being here, and he loves it. He enjoys it. We enjoy having different types of people at our convention, and we enjoy you meeting different types of people at the convention. So you know what? If you've never met the Latin American voice actors, even if you're not a fan, right? So even if you didn't watch Dragon Ball Spanish dub, just go say hello. Just have a 60-second conversation. I bet you're going to be inspired because those guys are really awesome. But then again, that's to be said with a lot of guests at the convention. Just, if you go in there with an open mind, it's like, hey, you know what? Let me go meet someone new. I don't know who this is, or I'm not familiar with their work, but let me go say hello or whatnot. You will be surprised. Yeah. So that's when it comes to diversity in talent, it's this is my take on it. This is my thought on it. Whatever you guys think. Yeah, let me see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what the beauty is? The beauty about diversity. I mean, is we're all different. So that's what diversity is, which means we're all going to have different points of views. We have different life experiences. We all think differently about different things, and that's okay. That's perfect, right? So we can. The point is to have conversations. Now I know sometimes when I made the first, sometimes these conversations can get uncomfortable. Um, and but it's still better to have a conversation, if you know what I mean. Because I just think if we can get through that, we can make things better. I mean, the convention is full of different people from different places and different parts of the world, different experiences, right? Yeah. Well, I'm really happy. I'm really happy I could we could have these live chats, and I'm really happy to talk to people. Um, um, there's I'm happy you guys are interacting with each other. Yeah. Um, I say we keep it up. Uh, we keep having conversations. Let's plan as best as we can. As things change, we will update you on what's going on. As of now, we're still okay. So as of now, Anime Matsuri is still on schedule. August 20th to the 23rd. We still have a lot of things, exciting things planned. Um, we have the convention center, the hotels. Everyone's we're ready, but now we have to kind of observe what is happening around Houston and figure out just as we get closer because it's still ways away. And as you can see, you guys are seeing how fast things change on the daily, right? So as we get closer, we would have a clearer picture of what we need to do and how we need to do it. But here's hoping for the best, right? Well, thank you for joining me on this stream. I hope to see you guys pretty soon, probably on Wednesday, and we'll have some interesting announcements to make. So thank you for hanging with us, and I really appreciate your feedback. Everybody, it doesn't matter what your opinion is. I appreciate it, and let's stay in touch, and I'll talk to you guys pretty soon. Okay? Well, have a good night. See you later. Peace.